Welcome to Higher Level Gaming. I'm Rob.
And I'm Katie.
And today we're going to keep up with some awesome YouTube traditions of regurgitating news. This time we're going to give some love to the lesser talked about PC gamer by stealing their idea of what's the one game you think people pretend to like most. What's the one game that people play or are fans of, but they really don't enjoy them? A lot of people say, and this is a controversial one for us, we're just gonna fucking start this video in the core of the problem.
I already can think of one game.
Since we're gonna plug PC Gamer and we're doing all that, let's look at their list real quick. Andy Kelly, I have no idea what this is. Far Cry 4 or 5. Oh, I said I like Far Cry 5, and honestly, I haven't played it since I'm doing a Let's Play, but I haven't picked it up in a while, and honestly, that's just because I have a bunch of other shit to do. I don't know. Maybe I'm pretending. Maybe I'm just a faker. Whatever. Now I feel offended. Like, this is bullshit. This is spicy.
You feel attacked.
I feel attacked. Dark Souls. Now I'm really angry. This is bullshit. No one pretends to like these games. Why would you pretend to like a game?
Type of person that I don't like punishment in a game. I don't like just dying over and over and struggling. It's really frustrating for me, but I still really like Dark Souls, even though I thought I would hate it. So I can't say I really agree with this one, because someone that doesn't like those types of games, I actually was a fan.
Oh my god, this is so bullshit. This is so bullshit. What did they say? They said, I immediately suspect them of lying. Lame. Dark Souls is a gaming phenomena. What?
It's so entwined in the get good attitude that people use it as a litmus test to measure how much of a true gamer you are.
Have I done that with you before? I would never do that to you, huh, babe? I would never make you play Dark Souls all the way to the end just to prove that you actually like games.
You convinced me to play Dark Souls, but you weren't like, if you don't play Dark Souls and you're not a true gamer. Because who does that?
Who would say that? Not me. See? Told you guys. I had to load the game and force her to play a few times. I won't lie to y'all. It wasn't easy.
Yeah.
Always.
Well, a lot of times
getting her to continue, it wasn't
you'd have
easy.
to load the game.
She got past the archers. You know the part, everyone knows the part with the archers. I think she got past that part really fast.
Yeah, it was weird because I don't know. I guess I was just lucky because I didn't have a problem.
It was crazy.
There.
She got stuck on Ornstein though.
Yeah, that's the part where I got up until that point I wasn't really frustrated.
This is not a Dark Souls video.
But
Half-Life 2. Great stacking bit. Okay, I gotta admit, playing Half-Life 2, I thought, because I played this game in 2017, so I'm looking at it from a modern perspective, I thought the Half-Life 2 did not live up to the hype. Not even close, dude. I thought Half-Life 2 was kind of disappointing. I thought the graphics sucked. But I mean, considering even considering games that are in that same generation, other games have aged much better, such as Kingdom Hearts. I think Kingdom Hearts came out even before Half-Life 2, and the first game I think looks better than Half-Life 2. So the game is alright. It's HD, I guess, technically, but it's just kind of not that great looking. The stacking of the crates, nowadays, physics have become much better. This was breaking the barrier between being able to do these types of interactive things with objects in games, but I don't think Half-Life 2 did it best. It did it first, but it didn't do it best, and I think that's always the case. You're never gonna see the person who innovates it in gaming do it best, because that's gonna spawn a bunch of copycats. And I think for the game of that kind, even modern titles like Breath of the Wild utilize the physics and moving boxes and that kind of thing in a much more fun way.
I did not play Half-Life 2.
Okay,
but
that's it. Talking about Half-Life 2 though, Katie wants to make a transition here.
Well, I can't use that as a transition.
Talking about
awkward. Speaking of Half-Life 2 and the boxes aspect, and how a game like Zelda kind of copied that and used that, I didn't like the new Zelda Breath of the Wild that much. I thought that it was I thought it was a decent game, but I just don't see all the hype behind it being like a masterpiece. I think maybe because it's been a while since a game
controversial opinions thread.
Like a lot of people were super hype, and that was more of it because I don't know. I just don't see anything really groundbreaking about the game. Unfortunately, that's just my opinion.
I think Breath of the Wild sucks. No, I'm just kidding. I think Breath of the Wild is a good Zelda game. I don't think people pretend to. And actually, that's my number one pick. My number one pick, I think, of games people pretend to like is Zelda Breath of the Wild. And let me explain to you why. Zelda Breath of the Wild is an empty-ass game. It's a big-ass map, and you can ride horses, maybe, if you find the right kind of horse and spend time on that shit, which who has time to, like, perfect their horse? Nobody. So, you're on this big-ass map. Yeah, you can fast travel, but it's just annoying. It's annoying because you go all over the place, and you look for cool things, and cool side quests, and cool missions, and quirky people like you find in other games, and there's just a lack of any of that. And then you go to these dungeons, and the dungeons all have the exact same aesthetic. They're all different. Each like, you're never gonna find a dungeon that's the same as another dungeon, but the dungeons are cookie cutter dungeons.
Yeah, I just feel like the game was pretty big overall. Like, there's a lot
to cover. The game was really big,
but
it was lacking.
It
was lacking in content in the way that there wasn't a lot of stuff to do in that big world that they made. So I think honestly, and especially on 4chan V, people really fucking pretend to love Breath of the Wild because they're up Nintendo's booty on there. They just can't get enough of them. It's because they're weebs. But anyway.
Now let's look at the comments because...
Now we're going to go to the comments because the real spice, the real story, the real juice is always in the comments. I don't like games, so everyone who likes it must be lying. PC gamer are fucking plebs. Yeah, well, that's kind of true. I think the better question is pretending to hate. I mean, I don't think pretending to hate is just, I think people praise things too much sometimes. BioShock Infinite. Ooh, I played the game twice, only found the middle of the road shooter that does nothing mechanically interesting. Story told so poorly, it tricks people into thinking it was smart. Ooh. I think that's kind of true. Like, some cool stuff happens in BioShock Infinite, and it's like an interesting game to play, to experience it, but when you really think about the story,
it's not that deep.
It's not that deep. The gameplay is like whatever. Like, it's interesting because you get to like zip around on the sky rail things, and Elizabeth is kind of cool, and the whole like opening into alternate universes like tricks you into thinking you'll like it because they know you like weird nerdy sci-fi shit like that. Ooh, someone said Overwatch and Fortnite. Why would people pretend to play or like the most liked games in the world? I've been playing both of these games more lately. I think they're fun in moderation.
Yeah, Fortnite, I've never really got that into it. I don't really play a lot of like...
Ooh, someone said The
like
Witcher
that,
3. Ooh.
Overwatch is fun though.
Destiny 2. Read any article about it and then swap every direct mention of the game with my kidnapper as textbook Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't play Destiny 2, but I have heard from fans that, like, even though, you know...
They're disappointed. If even the people who play your shit are disappointed.
Even though, like, Bungie has Destiny 2 to themselves now, a lot of people have problems with the story.
You know what's even crazier, though, is the Fallout 76 fans. Because there are some people who are fans of the game, and they're like, I don't understand why people are just complaining. Like, you guys can just keep complaining. I'm gonna have fun in this game. Like, those are the people who are pretending to like a game.
I
like,
think that's just some
that might be some sad situations where people spent their money that they had for one game on that game, and now they're stuck with it, so they kind of just gotta grin and bear it. Or it might just be people who are super fans of Fallout and are just trying to ride it till the bitter end.
I think it's the super fans, and the failure of Fallout 76 is just too much to handle.
It's too much to handle. They can't accept it. People are like, oh, you're just ragging on the game. No.
This person said Bloodborne. What did you think of Bloodborne? You started it.
Yeah, I think Bloodborne is good, but I think anyone who says it's better than Dark Souls is fucking wrong. Did someone mention controversial opinions? Okay. Limbo. It's an indie darling with a unique art style, but that art style actually ruins the gameplay. Ooh. Well, I mean, the gameplay's not going to be that interesting. I think side-scrollers are lame anyway, most of the time, but it probably doesn't have as good a gameplay as most people think, and usually games that are really aesthetically pleasing are not that great with the gameplay. Like, I heard a lot of great things about Layers of Fear, and it's cool in some ways, but I think it's fucking trash. It's a bad game.
Yeah. It's like, it reminds me of playing horror games on Newgrounds.
It's fun for the first 2 hours. It's fun, really fun for the first 2 hours, or not too. It's fun for the first 2 parts. It's fun for the first 2 parts, which should take you like 30 minutes to an hour max.
But by the time you get to the end, you're kind of like, I'm really looking forward to this being over.
Ooh, someone said isometric RPGs. This for all you oldies stuck in the past who can't move on from back in the day when games were played from a top-down view. I think that's true sometimes. I think a lot of them are bad, and people like play them and they invest a lot of time into them because they are like JRPGs, and they're not that high quality, so they just kind of like feel, I don't know. In my opinion, I think a lot of those games, isometric RPGs, are kind of bad. But I feel like World of Warcraft and MMOs are a bigger culprit here. There's a social aspect to those games that makes them fun, but that's true for a lot of games. I think World of Warcraft, the game itself, and any like MMO is bullcrap. Like, you're just doing these random fetch quests almost every single time, or going into a dungeon and killing something, and usually it doesn't look as good as comparable games. Like, if you play like a modern RPG with friends that has like co-op or anything like that, or a game like even Destiny 2, which is bad, it's gonna have maybe more interesting gameplay than World of Warcraft. I think most MMOs have really old style of gameplay, and World of Warcraft, in the same way that isometric RPGs, people pretend to like them, I think that could be true for MMOs. Now we're just getting into controversial opinions. This guy's like, the reason people don't like being told to get good is the same reason people don't like hearing harsh truths. That's fucked up.
Can't handle the truth.
I played Dark Souls literally for like a week almost straight, trying to beat the Ornstein Smile thing. I played like hours every day and just would have to stop because I was getting so mad. Am I pretending to like it because I went through that pain and suffering? Maybe, but I thought the rest of the game was pretty fun. LOL.
Nobody likes being stuck in a game, but does that mean you dislike the entire game? No.
And then when I played Dark Souls my second time through, I actually beat that part of the game really fast. Like within an hour or two, I had beat the fight, maybe even on my first or second try. I can't really remember, but it was way easier on my second playthrough, and I think that's because once you learn to play the game and you actually master the skills that it takes to be good at it and to beat it, you are able to play it, and it's not like, oh, it's just randomly killing you. There's actually a skill to the game that is required to beat it, and I think that's good if you want to have that. There are a lot of games that don't have that. There are a lot of games where you can just play it and, you know, it doesn't matter your skill level, and that's fine too. I think people pretend to like Halo games. I think people are pretending to like Halo games. In the modern world, Halo games are dead, fam. They're not popular anymore. They're dead, and if you like them, I think you're pretending. It's because that's all you have. It's because Xbox is dead, and that's all you have. That's it. The video's over. Subscribe. Bye.